Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another round of Rush Racing League. It is the season kickoff here for Division number 4, and it is going to be a fantastic night here tonight. My name is Patrick Coleman, aka Rekkas, and I'll be one of your hosts and commentators for tonight. Alongside me is Coop. How are you feeling today, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I cannot complain. I am here at Rush Racing League for the season opener of Division 4. It's going to be short quality with a full 100% race distance at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. This is such a tricky track. The walls pretty much take no prisoners as we have seen in seasons past. And we're going to see it here again as we go ahead and kick off season number 9. And I do have one more quick question for you, my good man.
What's that?
How do you feel about sending this one to the track? Because our drivers are just about to enter qualifying.
I feel very good. It'll be very interesting to see how many drivers will bin at turn 4. But apart from that, hopefully see some very quick lap times and yeah.
Alright, without any further ado, the drivers have loaded into qualifying, so shall we. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying is going to be underway here very shortly. We're going to go ahead and just jump straight on into it. So it is a singular qualifying session compared to the usual 3-stage qualifying session that we normally do here at Rush Racing League. So instead of this setting the grid for only some of the drivers, with the bottom 5 drivers being knocked out, this will set the entirety of the grid as we are here to get ready and get things underway. Now, Cooper, I know you're racing in, I believe it is Div 2, which actually comes later on tonight. So, what are your thoughts on this track?
It's a very tricky, tight track, as you've mentioned before. Honestly, my goal is to not bin at turn 4, and if I can get past, that should be a-okay.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, once again, this is a track that really takes no prisoners. The walls can really bite you, and they can really just ruin your race very quickly. You really got to pick your moment and pick a very good spot to make that overtake. Because I mean, there's some spots for it. Not as many spots to overtake as say like your Barcelona, Canada, a few other tracks as well that have some really good overtaking spots. This one, it's kind of few and far between the overtaking spots.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see where people overtake. There's 3 DRS zones that the drivers will be able to use to make the overtakes, which will be probably 90% of the overtakes we'll see today, but it'll be very interesting to see if anyone will take it through the corners, especially through turn 1. That'll be the main one, I reckon.
Also, Coop, do you mind turning up your mic a bit? Because you are pretty quiet, according to the chat.
I knew this would happen.
It's okay. An audio battle is the battle I lose on the constant. Let us know if there's anything else is too quiet, and I'll go ahead and turn it up on stream. And also, according to Josh, that turn 4 is the worst corner on the track. I can believe it. It is a very tricky corner to go ahead and navigate, as we're going to hop on board. Well, we're going to stay on board with Dynasty Sparrow as he's making his way through the circuit here, going into the tricky S's. I mean, it feels like this whole track is just nothing but tricky S's at some points. You got to be very precise. You have to be more precise than an Olympic archer if you want to get a good lap around here.
And very indeed, yes. You want to be very precise, and one single slip up and your lap will be ruined.
Indeed, yeah. And actually, we're going to go ahead and pop to a black screen very momentarily. Just going to go ahead and make a few little fixes. We'll be back on screen here very shortly. So just turning a few settings fixed around. This is my first time streaming here with Rush, so a few teething issues, but we'll get them all sorted here shortly. Once again, we do appreciate it. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun here tonight. Division 4 is a division that has historically been very competitive, as we're going to go and see Dynasty getting ready to set the first official lap time of the evening. He's going through the final DRS zone. Actually, correction, Claire will be the first one to set a lap time. It's a 128.095 for the Red Bull driver. We'll see if Dynasty Sparrow can go ahead and pick it up. So we'll see how this one goes. Now I think Cooper accidentally muted himself.
Oh, whoops, sorry. Who's on a lap? Well, we're right on board with Cruz. He's coming through the final sector now. Got very little battery. You want to be saving some coming through this final corner here as Gangster goes P2. Correction, F7 goes P... Okay, everyone's going P2 now. What the hell is going on? Final corner here for Crew. Using the overtake, got very little battery. His deployment's been used, which you want to make sure that never happens. Sets the lap of a 30.4 and goes P10.
Yeah, so that's a decent lap time to kick things off, but as you know, as a driver yourself, you know that this track will get rubbered in, and we're not gonna see the peak lap times until we hit those last few minutes, like the last 3 to 4 minutes, usually is what really sets the true qualifying grid, because the track takes time to get rubbered in, coming in with basically no rubber at all here in the opening stages. And I mean, on a track like this, you need every bit of grip that you can muster, as we see that's either Reiko or Aardvark going ahead and causing a temporary yellow. So Wogjet in the Williams now, the driver I'm currently on board with, did set a purple sector 1. So that is good stuff here from the Williams driver. Now I heard a good amount of fanfare about Williams coming into the season, as Wogjet is now making his way through the very high speed S's of sector number 2. He's going to go ahead and continue making his way. It's purple sector 2 again. So he is really putting that Williams on the limit. He's going to get around the Racing Bull with no issue at all. Now he's pretty much on a very fast, sweeping left-hander, going up into a very, very, very tight hairpin, which then leads to the start-finish straight. We'll see where the Williams can go, if it can be good enough for provisional pole in the opening stages of qualifying, and it is good enough for P12 at the moment. Yep. So, and I did realize I was echoing, so I apologize for that. Yeah, it's a very solid lap time. Unfortunately, Gangster has left the session, it says. So, yeah, if you would be so kind. Awesome. Thank you so much. Actually, I'm still hearing myself echo. So, are you actually watching the stream in the background, Cooper? Yeah, interesting. I'm not sure why I'm hearing myself echo. All right, I do apologize, guys. We are running into some minor teething issues. Yeah, so I did actually turn the game audio off somehow. So I'm still hearing myself in the background, so I'm curious on how that's the case. Alright, so let's try this again. Luckily it's only qualifying, so it's gonna be a little bit of teething issue. We really do appreciate you guys going ahead and being patient with us as we go ahead and figure things out going into the season opener. So we'll see if we can go ahead and get things fixed. Alright, Cooper, go ahead and say something.
As we have Tyler Man Davey currently through the middle sector on a lap. Deploying using hot lap, but wouldn't recommend that. Would use medium. Goes through a bit wide, coming through this little chicane there into the third sector, activating the DRS. He's flying into 8th gear, using a bit of battery to get a bit faster. And here we go into the final corner now. We'll have about just under 40% battery, or 40%. Deploying it all now, coming up to the line with DRS, and we'll set a banker of a 1:29.6 for P13.
It's a pretty decent banker there from Tyler. We'll see if he can get quicker lap times as we go through the stream and go in and go through the qualifying session. Under about 9 minutes left to go now in the session, so you got enough time for a few more laps. We'll see how this one is going to go and play out. I was going to hop on board with Chi, but Chi does, he has done invalidated his lap. Heaview has also went ahead and invalidated his lap. So a few drivers with some invalidated laps. Now a lot of these drivers are mostly into the pits now. Nishka is still out flying around in that Ferrari, a time currently of a 1:30.295. So Nishka is a driver that actually had a bit of fanfare early on in the chat while we're going through our pre-roll. So interesting. But here's the thing about this track, and it's actually been brought up in chat. So dirty air is a bit of an issue on this track, especially with a lot of cars being very, very close, and sometimes navigating through traffic can be a bit of a pain when it just comes to trying to get a clear track to go to get your optimal qualifying time. So what is the latest that you would personally leave it for going ahead and getting a quick lap in?
It's honestly all about how much space is around you. Trying to, like, if you have to let cars go past you to make sure you have that clean space, you may have to. But ultimately in the race, there's no chance you could do that. So we'll see what happens throughout the qualifying. Hopefully no one gets impeded. That's the last thing we want to see. As we've got just over 7 minutes and 20 seconds left. There's a few people doing their second runs at the moment. We've got Nishka in through the final corner, following the battery, up from 5th, 6th gear, 7th after the DRS. Will improve to a 29.8, goes P14.
And Mertz goes ahead and jumps up to provisional pole position. And we're going to go ahead and actually take a look at specifically the gap. We'll see what that gap is. Just under 0.2 of a second between Claire and Mertz here. So the Aston Martin take your provisional pole, but once again, there's still about under 7 minutes left to go. So you can probably get about a good 2 or 3 good laps in before the qualifying session is done and dusted. So it's a new season, right? So is there any driver in particular that you're really looking forward to seeing how they progress as the season goes on? Because we know Div 4 has the potential to be really spicy sometimes in terms of drivers who are competitive or drivers who just kind of come out of the woodworks and surprise everyone.
Well, as a kick driver myself, I'd personally say the 2 kick drivers we've got in here, but the one I'm looking forward to watching, keep an eye on, will be, where is he? Brandy or Dynasty. We've seen what he can do, as he was in this division last season, so we'll see what he can do, and hopefully he could push for a title run, or he could absolutely bin the car, or just be mid-pack, but who knows, we will find out.
Yeah, and to answer the question in chat, usually the divisions kind of change up quite a bit, because there are 6 divisions, actually 7 if you count the North American division, that ran yesterday. It was myself and Gamehawk. We had an absolute blast on the NA stream, but we have 7 divisions if you count North America. So some drivers who usually do really good in Division 3 do progress, or sorry, who do good in Division 4 usually progress to Division 3 and so on and so forth. So some of the drivers who were very strong in Division 4 might have already graduated to Div 3, so it's a new playing field.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
And also, would you mind sending Gangster another invite, Coop? Sorry for cutting you off.
Yep, just have, and, oh, Falcon's been disqualified. He was P2. That is not what you want to see, as Mudpack has improved to a 28.4 P6, which will now be P5, because Falcon's been disqualified.
Ooh, that is heartbreaking for the Williams. Falcon had such good speed, but I think he just got spun around, and I think he waited for cars to really just kind of get past before going ahead and trying to make them rotate. So that is a very unfortunate disqualification for him. He's pretty much going to be kicking himself for that one, although I don't even really think that's his fault.
I don't believe it was his either, but Well, unfortunately, that's what happened, and he'll be starting dead last.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I've actually seen some weird things here, like while commentating for Rush. In the NA League earlier, I forget exactly what the penalty was, but I've seen a penalty that I have never witnessed before. It was a weird one. It was under a safety car. So I forget what the exact penalty was. I'll have to rewatch the NA stream later and try to remember what that penalty was. But I have seen some weird penalties that I didn't even know existed in the Formula One games. And also, to answer your question, Chocolate, most leagues typically have one or two divisions, maybe three. Rush is by far the biggest one I've ever seen, with 7 divisions, and I mean, and if we get the EU league back, it'll be technically 8 divisions. So, Rush is a very big league compared to most other leagues, which always leads for excellent competition, and that's how we can have so many races. And I mean, you're in for a treat because in the span of 24 hours, you have 3 different Rush Racing League races here. Because we had NA earlier at 5 p.m. American Eastern Standard Time, and then we have this race going on here in Division 4, and then we have Division 2 directly after this.
And also Division 5 tomorrow.
Yeah, so no shortage of racing action here. And if you're like me and you're not normally on the oceanic time zone, then fret not. All the races will be re-uploaded to our YouTube channel later on, so you guys can go ahead and watch the VODs in all of their glory and all their beauty. And I also believe race highlights are also going to be uploaded. So yeah, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications on the YouTube channel if you haven't already. And then go ahead and drop a follow here if you are brand new. Your support means everything to us. And I do want to go ahead and shout out our sponsors real quick. Primary sponsor being AI369, a fantastic service. Go ahead and jump onto the website, which is ai369.co, and then you can go ahead and get the newsletter and get ready for when they release their absolutely fantastic software. And it's going to make catching racing highlights that much easier. And also Pagni and Sim Labs, shout out to them, and also all of our other amazing sponsors. And what's not amazing is a 5-place grid penalty for Claire for colliding with Gangster. So that is a interesting one.
Very unfortunate. First race of the season as well. First qualifying. Not what you want to say at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's down to a minute of qualifying here. A few drivers still on their out laps trying to get laps in. So we're actually going to jump on board with Aardvark as he goes ahead and makes his way through the rest of the lap, making his way through, now going to the flat-out DRS zone of Sector 3, the massive sweeping left-hander. Looked like it was a bit of a jerky movement there going through. Hopefully that didn't cost him too much time. He doesn't have a time on the board yet, so any time will be an improvement. As he's going to go ahead and put the pedal to the metal, foot to the floor, going to go ahead and turn on the afterburners, burn up that battery. He's going to hug the inside line, come across the line into P13. And what about Chi Dung? What is Chi Dung going to be able to do? I'll let you take the rest of this lap, Cooper.
Alright, coming through the left-hander here, deploying the battery as he's coming through up into 7th gear, coming up to the DRS, gets DRS as Mertz sets a 27.603. That's a very solid improvement. Shidon coming through the fast left, fast right. One of my least favourite corners because I always bin it there, so hopefully I don't do it tonight. Let's activate the DRS. It's got very little low battery, which is not what you want, as you've still got a very decent straight to come onto after the final corner. Gets it down into 2nd gear, wouldn't recommend that, but coming through, deploying the battery up into 6th, up into 7th, activate DRS. Comes up to the line and sets a 28.3, which puts him P4. That's a very solid lap for the kicks.
And as a kick driver yourself, I know you're happy about that one. But yeah, Kick has always been a strong team here when it comes to Rush Racing League. I mean, I have seen very few races here in this league where Kick has not been at least fighting for podiums or at least decent positions within the top 10. They've never really been miles off the pace. So that's very good consistency. What about Claire? Claire is not improving. Yeah, Claire is done. The Red Bull session is pretty much done and dusted. Let's check on the other kick Sauber of Mudpack. Let's see what he can go ahead and do. He's making his way through the final sector of the track now, going under the structure and now entering the final DRS zone. We'll see, he's going to go ahead and turn on the afterburners, harvesting a little bit of battery through this sector, which is interesting, but
Very smart. Very smart.
indeed,
Ooh,
because
a little bit of a tow, a little bit of distraction. Come up to the line, DRS activated, up to the line. Will slightly improve to P6 to 28.2. That is very solid.
so a pretty decent showing for the Saubers at the moment. P6 and P7, very respectable times. But still, the driver to beat is this man right here. It is Mertz, just about 0.3 of a second ahead of F7 in that McLaren. It is McLaren 2-3 though, so I know SJ is likely watching this, so he's going to be happy that the McLaren drivers are up into P2 and P3. Claire does go ahead and retire, but that is pretty much our qualifying session done, dusted, and delivered. And then we're just waiting for this timer to go ahead and expire, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into our results. And then it is a 100% race around the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Any predictions here when it comes to strategy, Cooper?
Well, with the tyre wear being a massive impact, you'd be looking at a potential 2-stop, potentially 1 if you really push the tyres and pray you don't get a puncher, then that's the main strat. So definitely medium hards.
Alright, so taking a look at our qualifying grid, it is Mertz followed by F7, GM Reigns, Claire, Reiko Ralph, Mudpack, Cheedong, Hayview, Gangster, Hennessy, Dynasty Sparrow, NZT, Wogjet, Jeneth, Tyler Mandavy, Aardvark, Bloody Who Cares, Nishka, Crew, and then Falcon, who got that really weird DSQ. He was on some very solid pace. Oh, and I've actually just been corrected by SJ. He's in Alpine this season. You know when in real Formula 1 drivers switch teams and it takes a long time to actually kind of get used to seeing a driver in a different team, like with Hamilton and Ferrari and etc. That's how I felt about SJ
definitely.
playing musical chairs during the evaluation ranges or races, and now finally settling down with Alpine. So hopefully for your sake, the Alpine, hopefully Alpine does good for your sake. But honestly, first and foremost, I want everybody to have fun, a clean race, and an enjoyable race, because this is a tough track. And the funny thing about this calendar is we go straight from here to Monaco next week. So how do you feel about Monaco? Because I know it's a bit of a touchy subject for some.
I have a 0% finish rate there, so not good.
I mean, I've only finished that track in career mode, and even then, my finish rate is not super high. But anyways, we're about to go ahead and get ready for the season opener, and it's lights out, and away we go. It is going to be a rundown, and F7 actually already gets a move initially, but it doesn't stay for long, and there's a big spin in the backfield.
Oh my god.
Several cars colliding. The safety car is out, and we didn't even make it to turn number 1.
Oh, multiple penalties.
Oh, there's a Park Sauber there too.
Oh no, and Crew just went
no.
straight into him.
Oh no, that is not good. Oh, and I think he just drove into someone else too. So, Crew is done.
My.
Cheedong has got massive penalties. Falcon's got penalties. Just penalties out the wazoo
drivers
here.
with 10 second. 5 drivers with 10 sec. 6 people now with 10-second penalties. What is going on?
Maybe some of these drivers need to kind of maybe rub their eyes a bit, because it's not lap 1 out of 5, it's lap 1 out of 50. So these drivers really need to just take a chill pill and just go ahead and at least get racing for a bit first.
There's been an update. Aardvark went from 16th to 5th in the opening lap. That is a very solid start for him after all that chaos.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's gonna be a lot of activity in the steward's room after this. I wonder if some of them just kind of thought that they were in a F1 public lobby, or worse yet, a Gran Turismo public lobby. Actually, I'm not sure which one's worse. That's probably going to be a debate for another day, but yeah. Do you think this is a precursor to how your race is going to go, Cooper? Just chaos in the first, like, 2.5 turns?
Oh, certainly hope not, but I'll probably cause half of it. No, I'm just kidding. I would never cause anything like that. Never in my life. I'm a clean starter.
You heard it here
We've
first,
got-
folks. Cooper is planning on doing a little bit of trolling when he gets to his Division 2 race later on tonight.
I would never in my life. I would agree with someone in the chat. This is Mario Kart. This looks like Mario Kart. As both kicks have blocks, which is very not good to see. Well, I don't want to sound biased, but I had to.
Okay, so while we have this safety car going around, do you think Mario Kart is actually a good game? I feel like that's another topic that can really get some people rubbed the wrong way.
Yeah, Mario Kart was one of the best games ever. Undefeated.
You see, I grew up in the era of Crash Bandicoot still being popular, so I grew up more on the Crash Bandicoot kart racers like Nitro Kart, Tag Team Racing, which, if you've never played Crash Tag Team Racing on the PS2 or the Nintendo GameCube, I'd recommend giving it a try, because that game is straight unhinged, just like the start of this race. Pure chaos from start to finish. Kind of hard to see what's going on.
We've seen requesting for tyres as both Haas drivers are on softs to start this race. It is very interesting.
Yeah, an interesting call, because like you said, I mean, the tire wear in F124 to F125 is such a night and day difference that, I mean, honestly, it's kind of rare to see softs in any race, like, outside of those quick fire or super short races that have only like 3 to 5 laps in them, or just races that don't have tire wear, which is really honestly just those two.
Yeah, definitely. Or like 2-lap dash at the end of when a late race safety car comes out.
Also, do you have Hugh added as a friend? Because he would need an invite.
Let me have a look.
I'm actually wondering if I'm even pronouncing that right. It's H-I-E-U, so I think I'm pronouncing it right. It is one of the Aston Martin drivers. So, chaotic start here, but this is going to actually, speaking of the drivers running on those soft tires being the two Haas's, this is going to slightly play into their favor a little bit because they're able to get the tire to a longer distance because you're really only burning about half of the tire that you would burn normally under full racing conditions while you're behind the safety car or under the effect of a VSC. So, I mean, these Haas might have a pretty solid jump once we get going here. Hopefully at the beginning of lap 4, but we're not too sure yet how that's going to go. There's still a few drivers trying to catch the back. Claire and Chidong are still trying to catch the back of this pack as we just continue to wait until we go green.
It'll be also important for these soft runners to make sure their tyres are very warm when they go back green flag racing.
Agreed, and I did step away for a bit to turn down the AC a bit in this room because I know we're in the desert, but while commentating it is a bit tricky when it's desert hot conditions in your office. But, and yes, your request will be granted as we go ahead and get ready. Let's go and take a look at the tires right now, and it's a pretty interesting selection here. So you pretty much got the two Haas cars being the only drivers that kind of deviated from everybody else running that soft tire compound. And then pretty much outside of those two cars, it's kind of a 50-50 split just about with the mediums and the hards. So do you think in terms of, speaking from your perspective, do you think you'd run the hards first or the mediums first, or would it just be position dependent?
Well, I always run the mediums as we've gone back under green flag racing. Mertz has been able to pull a full 10th gap going into turn 1, which is very nice, as Falcon has binned it in the pit lane. It's very weird.
Oh. Interesting. So that's a weird spot to kind of bin it, but we've seen crazier things happen just today. Oh,
Yeah, we have.
here's a good one for you. So we have received a comms Q&A request from Sebi. How many more drivers do you predict are gonna or how many drivers do you expect to DNF in this race? How many more drivers? Well, I'll go first on this one. I'm expecting at least another 2 or 3. I'm hoping for none. What do you think? Because I mean, obviously, hoping versus what's likely to happen are usually two pretty different things.
Yeah. Another 6, and I reckon a couple will bin it at turn 4 at the plugger corner, as it's known as.
I'm gonna have to get the backstory on why that is known as the plugger corner.
He bins it there every race. Done. As Hennessy has just binned it and retired.
Well,
there's another one, and the safety car's back.
Well,
that's not good.
I said about 2 or 3 as my pick. I hoped for none. I'm not gonna get my wish. Hennessy in the Red Bull.
You jinxed it.
Yeah, I jinxed it. One of the rare Reckus commentary curses has come to fruition, but this is really going to help the Haas's out, just considering that they're still able to utilize those tires and just keep it for a longer distance, but speeding into pit lane for the Sauber, and crew has left the session. If I could get him an invite again, that would be simply lovely.
We're not actually stuck in here.
I'm sorry. We were talking about a Red Bull earlier. That just appeared in my brain. So I feel like Whiff, which I'm pretty sure is still the Sauber team principal, I feel like he's just going through every stage of grief watching this race unfold. Of just like a certain co-commentator I'm having here tonight.
Oh, and Chi Dung has binned it at turn 4. Oh my god. Under safety car, he's binned it.
Well, I did say 2 or 3 more cars with DNF. Sure enough, we've hit 2.
Oh my god. Well, Whiff, there you go.
I feel like Whiff is going to have gray hairs by the time we are done with this race in Monaco. Whiff is going to be having a full head of gray hair.
I mean, he has to deal with me, so he already gets enough gray hair as it is.
And you're racing later on tonight at the same track for 100% shortly after we wrap up here in Division number 4. So, yeah, hey, the benefit of you commentating before you jump into a race is that you kind of see what you don't do in some of these situations.
I'll probably still end up doing one of them, but hopefully not bin it. Trying to find crew.
So yeah, it's and apparently now I need to go back and watch the Div 1 race, because I heard the Div 1 race. I did see that the Div 1 race was very chaotic. I saw it via Instagram. Speaking of, this is a perfect time to shamelessly plug our Instagram. Go ahead and follow us at Official Rush Racing on Instagram. It is where we're posting all the updates for upcoming races throughout all the divisions, Division 1 through 6, and possibly the North American division as well. So go ahead and follow us on the Instagram, and if you want to join up and potentially get into racing here at Rush Racing League, go ahead and let us know, and we'll do our best to provide you a Discord link, and our fantastic admin team will go ahead and get you set up, and we'll hopefully get to see you on track. And myself, Coops, or one of the other fantastic commentators that we have here at Rush Racing League will probably be commentating over your race.
You could be.
You could be the one giving Coops an extra headache in Division 2 for all we know.
Oh, please no. I get enough trouble from whiff, so. The safety car should come in at the end of this lap as all the cars are in orderly line as... I don't know what just happened there, but yeah, everyone's in queue, so safety car should come back in, and hopefully we don't see it again.
Yeah, we are in cahoots on that one. I really hope we don't see another safety car here, because the NAL race in Canada that happened earlier on, actually just about like 10 hours ago, roughly, if my quick math is correct. That race had, I think, like 3 or 4 safety cars, and that was only a 50% race. So who knows what's going to happen here in Division 4 with and honestly kind of a trickier track, and not to mention a full race distance. So we will see. But also Sebi says hi to you, Cooper.
Hello, Sevi.
As we're going to go to get back underway for green flag conditions. Can Mertz get the good launch that he got after the last restart? We will see. It looks like he did get a very good start, building up just about a half a second gap to the car behind of F7. F7 had some pretty decent performances in the evaluation races, at least the ones I watched. So expecting some good things from that McLaren. As Aardvark goes a bit wide out of turn 3, I think that is. He's getting pretty close to his teammate, but he's got to be running into that dirty air, making turning all the more tricky on a track where you got to be machine-like when it comes to your precision. As we go ahead, and we're still about halfway through our first lap after the restart, lap 7 out of 50. And luckily everybody's seemingly made it through in one piece. The 2 cars up ahead have already pulled about a 1 second gap away from Reiko, so I wonder if those soft tires are really starting to just kind of fall away at this point of the race. So if you were these drivers, right, how long would you want to put that soft tire on the car, and how long would you actually use the soft tire, if at all? Because from my experience, these soft tires around this track really only last about 9 or 10 laps at the most.
I would use -6 laps. I would never touch them. I would stick to the mediums and stick to the hards, and only pull the softs out if the late race safety car comes out.
Indeed, yeah, I mean, that seems like a good strategy. As we're riding on board now with the driver who just at the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 1:33.361 for F7 VRB 99. He's trying to go ahead and stay close to the back of the Aston Martin. Now, we know Aston Martin has been a very strong team in previous seasons. They're going to want to try to kick off Division 4 season number 9 in round 1 with a win. Go ahead and boost their score in the overall. So if you're new to Rush Racing League, so there's obviously the team and driver rankings in each division, but for the teams there's also an overall, taking into account every single division out of the main OC divisions, I mean. So Division 1 through Division 6. I don't think the NA League is counted in that. I think they're counted separately, but still, so I mean, it's going to reward teams for doing good in all divisions, which is a task definitely much easier said than done. Just like trying to make a good overtake here on this track going through the second DRS zone, as F7 closes that gap to merge just up ahead, and he might be in a good spot to actually go ahead and make this pass here. He might just have enough real estate to really get a good opportunity to retake the lead of this race.
Becomes gangster at the inside of Aardvark here. Oh, that's a very nice move into the final corner. Will not have DRS, so we'll see if Aardvark can get him back, but he has literally no battery left to use and is not close enough to launch an attack back. As here comes Rodjet on the inside, thinks better of it and backs out. As Aardvark almost runs into the back of Gangster there at turn 1 and 2. And because of that, Tyler Mandavy gets through into P6. Very nice move.
Yeah, let's actually take a look at how many positions these drivers have moved up. Aardvark is up 11 positions. Tyler's up 9. So we have some pretty strong movers up this chat, or up this race. I don't know where that came from. But Reigns and Mudpack had a pretty tough race. Down 12 positions for Mudpack and down 13 for Reigns. And Aardvark was having a very solid race.
Aardvark.
But
and got a 3 second.
Yep. I was just about to mention that. 3-second time penalty there for the Haas, which is a bit unfortunate, but I mean, especially in Sector 1, it can be very easy to get those track limit violations.
Yeah, very easy. I would probably rack up about 20.
The amount of times I have had to use the flashback feature while I'm racing in career mode while trying to navigate through this track, and unfortunately just getting a bit too wide as Tyler now moves up into 5th. The other Mercedes
and the battle for the lead is on.
All right, here we go. We're going to jump up to the battle for the lead. It is F7 trying to get past. He closed that gap up very, very nicely. But Mertz putting on a massive old defense. He's going to keep slamming that door shut. He doesn't want any Girl Scout cookies. He doesn't want to give up the position. And he is making the McLaren work for it.
Meanwhile, in that straight, Tyler Davey lost 3 positions down the straight. We're not having DRS. That is how powerful DRS is around Saudi. Went from P5 to P8 in one straight. As what is going on? Randy and all this contact, and Aardvark's around. They've got 3 seconds. And Aardvark smacked into the back of the side of Jennifer, but looks to be no damage, but he's falling down to P12.
Almost hit Nishka too there. Nishka's also having a pretty decent recovery race here, as the Ferrari driver is up several positions themselves, trying to chase down Claire in the Red Bull. So we'll see if the Ferrari can go ahead and make the move. One of the Ferraris got damaged. I don't think it does, so no it doesn't, but yeah, I'm surprised the Haas doesn't really have more damage.
NZT has no front wing in P15, has no front wing. So don't know what happened there.
I'm not Adrian Newey by any stretch, but I feel like there's an easier way to do weight reduction and get less drag than just removing the front wing altogether. Mercedes tried that with their side pods.
Ferrari strats. As Mertz has broken DRS from F7, so he's done a very solid lap. He also set the fastest lap as well for the race.
Interesting, yeah. So I mean, this driver is definitely quick. I even saw a comment out saying that he should be moved up to Div 3. So Div 3 might gain a new driver. Nishka gets a 3-second time penalty for
Nishka and Claire had a battle. They both went off at turn 1 and 2. So I don't know what happened there. Carry on through. As Falcon is right up the rear of the Ferrari. Looking for a move, but sits behind. Going to be saving that battery through this section as where you'll mainly get your battery back from as Nishko goes off track. Maybe that could be another warning, who knows.
Yeah, we'll see if Falcon can go ahead and take advantage. Falcon might have got a better exit through the hairpin there as he's going to try to catch the Ferrari. Actually, no, he got a worse exit than the Ferrari. The Ferrari is pretty much right at the back of Aardvark there, trying to chase down the fellow Ferrari-powered machine, chasing down the American car of Aardvark as they make their way through. And once again, you just run into so much dirty air on this track. It is just tricky to kind of get any kind of passing going on.
It is not pretty, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, not pretty at all. It can lead to some carnage like we saw in lap 1 earlier on. So once again, anything can happen. Looks like there's a very good battle going down here in P6 Dynasty, trying to break into the top 5. He's got DRS. He's going to soar past Wogjet. Wogjet trying to hold the inside line, but the DRS and the speed of Dynasty was a bit too strong. And he's going to go ahead and
Falcon up the inside, around the outside. Falcon gets the move done on Aardvark into P12 around the outside turn 2. He's a very nice move.
Indeed, that was a very good pass. Nishka gets another 3-second time penalty, so that's going to increase their penalty up to, I believe, 6. So 6 seconds of pens for the Ferrari up ahead. Falcon's doing a very good job to kind of go ahead and keep this gap close. Gangster's kind of pulled out of left field and now is trying to chase down Rico Rao for a podium, but I have my suspicion that it is due to the soft tires going ahead and just not really playing super well now at this time. And now, next time around, we are going to do a full onboard lap with Jenneth, because that was going to go ahead and, because that was redeemed in chat. Thank you, Sebi, for going ahead and redeeming your channel points. We're going to jump on board, but for the time being, we're going to continue on with this battle. And once these drivers go and start the next lap, we will jump on over to Jenneth, and we'll see how their lap goes ahead.
Oh, I think, yeah, Tyler's got damage. He's broken his front left end plate, hitting the rear of Wogjet. And it's very early on to get damage. Oh my god, this looks crazy. We've got a free wide into, oh my, 5 cars involved. This will be crazy.
Yep, so we're on board now with the Racing Bull of Jenneth, who's got a very good view of Heview and Dynasty battling out. Heview gets shown the wall. He gets told to go in the timeout corner as Dynasty does continue. Breaking a bit early though for Jenneth, as Jenneth goes ahead and continues the number 28 piece of cash of Racing Bull, trying to at least stay within DRS range of Heview there. And Heview decides to take a Mario Kart-esque shortcut through Sector 1. He's definitely going to give that time back just by a bit, because that may be brought up to the stewards. A yellow flag was flown, but it was a temporary fix. I can't even see the cause of that.
It's a glitch in the game.
Noted.
It says it's at Sector 3. But while we were on board with Jeddah, Tyler Mandavi got damage on the right side this time from Jeddah. He's seen both end plates and will be most likely boxing this lap for a new front wing.
So, interesting stuff here as we are about a fifth of the way through this Grand Prix. As we are continuing to go ahead and just keep on board with Jenneth, as Jenneth goes ahead and makes their way through the sweeping left-hander. Full speed, it is a flat-out corner, and then you go into the hairpin. He's going to get close there to Heview there, but Heview does have a damaged front wing. It's missing that front left end plate. And coming across the line, still about 8/10 behind, actually losing quite a significant amount of time in that Racing Bull. And now we're going to jump back up to the battle for P5 of Dynasty versus Wogjet. I mean, there's been a lot of times where these two have clashed on track.
Yeah, they definitely have that massive, like, couple laps ago where they've gone nearly 5 wide at one point, but they managed to all calm it down and they've all gone to straight line, and they are broken DRS from the high view behind, and Jenneth as well, who's barely staying in DRS as we speak.
So yeah, like you said, DRS is probably, it's probably one of the tracks with the strongest DRS, and there's a Williams around.
Oh, Wogjet's around.
Ooh.
Oh
Ooh.
my god.
You couldn't even fit a napkin in between Wogjet and Falcon. Oh, that was a code brown moment. Even here in the commentary box, I think we both, our hearts kind of dropped to our stomachs, as that was a very close rejoin there. We almost had a moment, like we saw earlier, where it's an unsafe rejoin leading to a DNF. And oh boy, that scared me, and I'm not even driving.
I think Dino's had to change a couple of brown pants there after that, but yeah. There was both his drivers involved. But yeah, now Wogjet will be under pressure from the McLaren and the Ferrari behind him. We're both in DRS as it comes to Nishra on the inside of GM Reigns. Doesn't get stick, but can get the better exit. No. GM Reigns. We're now looking to put the attack on Wogjet. Will he get the move done? Find out. Coming to turn 1, we'll sit behind. And we'll stick around for another lap as Aardvark gets another move done on bloody who cares. Who's run out of battery going down the straight, very weird.
Yeah, at that point that's just improper battery management, because the battery here, oh yeah, Dino's saying in chat that he does need a minute.
Yeah. I think Nisha hit the turn 4 wall and went wide, and I think missing the left front end plate. So that is not good news for the Ferrari boys.
So, for clarification, the reason why we are checking on Dino is because we have a system in Rush Racing League, like we were talking about earlier with the Saubers and their team principal. So Williams' team principal is Dito. He actually, I think he does commentate still in Div 2, I think. I know I've commentated with him quite a bit in the past. A very solid commentator indeed. But he is the team principal of Williams. So the incident involving the two Williams cars definitely made his heart sink quite a few meters. So, yeah, but
Go
luckily,
Brown.
that's the only thing that is sunk, and not the Williams' chances of getting a double finish.
So here, GM Reigns gets past Wojtek coming through the final corner. We'll see if Wojtek can put the pressure back on, get the re-overtake for P10 with the DRS. Bit 4/10 back and is not close enough for a launch.
Yeah, so taking a look now at the tires here. So a lot of these drivers are on those. I mean, Reiko Ralph, we need to talk about this man for a bit because, I mean, those tires have definitely got to be flame broiled right now like a Burger King Whopper. 15 laps on the soft tires for both of the Haas's, honestly. That is an impressive feat around this circuit. In F124, you could get these things to maybe lap 20, although they'll be hanging on with duct tape and prayers. But, I mean, in this game in particular, it's like they ramped up the tire wear to like 11.
Yeah, tire wear's gone through the roof. While in between that high, get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which is very unfortunate. As Mudpack makes the move on Arvak for P12. And now Blake, seeing Arvak is falling down further the ladder, the leaderboard.
Yeah, and I saw earlier in chat that someone said that the downfall of Aardvark needs to be studied. It's been a tricky race here for the Haas driver. I mean, Haas is going on a very audacious strategy, running soft tires for this duration of the race. So, I mean, I'm expecting them to pit before lap 20, personally, just because those soft tires are going to have nothing left to give. I mean, Rico's already falling way far off of this top three. Heading over to Jeddah now, trying to chase down Hugh here. See what he can do. Ooh, gets very close to the wall there. The wall that everybody bins it at. And Jeddah's version of the Wall of Champions.
The private corners, we all love private very much. Roger comes out of the pit lane to a brand new set of medium tyres. Did about 15-16 laps on his first set. See what he can do in this second set.
Indeed, so we'll see. Wangja had some pretty decent pace early on, but then that spin and then the Dito heart attack simulator occurred, and then we saw Wangja kind of tumble down the order. So his tires were probably in even a worse spot than the Haas's right now. But Aardvark does make the pit stop. He does go onto the mediums. The question is, when does this teammate?
He'd be very soon, you reckon? I mean, he pulls into the pits. No, he's sticking out for another lap. As Falcon gets past Jennifer for P7. But with both drivers having little to no battery, it'll be very interesting to see what they can do from here on out.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. I mean, one of the interesting things about these 100% distance races is that there's always so many different strategy options that you can take with you into this race. Because typically, no matter what track we go to with Rush Racing League, it is 50% race distance. So a majority of those races are indeed one-stops. And I mean, I know next week is definitely going to be a one-stop because we are headed to Monaco next week. And tire wear is definitely not an issue around Monaco, but I mean, there's other tracks where the tire life just really falls away really quickly, especially in this game, a game that's already pretty brutal against tire wear to begin with.
Yeah, it definitely is. As Nishka gets another 3 second, I believe they are up to 9 seconds of penalties. Yes, they are. Highview was up to 13 seconds of penalties, and then we've got Tyler Davey and Ardva both with 3 seconds.
So, taking a look in chat, they're saying Monaco actually should have been a 100% race. So, fun fact.
I like to disagree.
So, fun fact. The first 100% race that I commentated in F1 in the F1 game in general was season 7 for the mystery round in. Oh, I want to say it was Division 5, maybe? Maybe it was Div 5? Div 3, maybe? I'm trying to remember which division it was, but it was a 100% distance race for the final round of the season at Monaco. Saw some very interesting moves and some unfortunate spills. I mean, there's one driver that was doing particularly well in that race, but I think I can't remember if it was a penalty or a DNF that caused him to pretty much kind of ruin his race. But it was actually funny enough. It was a Haas. It was a Haas of Sammy the Slammer.
Yeah, fortunate for him. As Highview picked up another 3 seconds. No, he's up 16 seconds to 10. He's very unfortunate. In the meantime, Wreck-It Ralph and Dynasty have both boxed for hard tyres. They're going to try and see if they can push them to the end for a one stop, but their tyre will be screeching for help at the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm also seeing 100% wet Monaco plus a sprint. Ooh, that would be torture for the drivers. Commentators would probably have a blast, but in terms of the drivers, I don't think they'd feel so inclined.
I think I need about 600 front wings ready for me if I ever did that race. As Highview comes into the pits after doing 19 laps on those mediums, I think we'll be serving a 10-second penalty first. And yes, they will be. They'll actually serve the 10-second first before changing over, so this will really hurt Highview. Really fall down the order. He's got a good battery between Roger and Bloody Who Cares as Roger gets past on those new fresh medium tyres, which he needs to take full advantage of. As oh my Bloody Who Cares almost ran to the back with Tyler Man Davey. Oh my.
That could have been another safety car, which we definitely do not need.
No, we do need it. Needs more spice in this race.
I think this race has been spicy enough, and we're not even half race distance, so at least let's get to half race distance before we go ahead and throw in another safety car. Please, pretty please with a cherry on top, or in this case.
I mean, I predicted 16. I predicted DNF, so I'll see a couple more safety cars.
I predicted between 3 and 4 because I did say during that question how many more cars will DNF, and I said 2 to 3. So far, 2 of the cars have DNF'd since then, so one more DNF and then I'll be pretty much perfect on that prediction. And I think if we had him as a safety car, that would probably not end up well in my pseudo bet that I have here tonight.
As Jennifer Lee comes into the pit lane now to get done 20 laps on those mediums, probably be looking to go onto those hards and push them to the end.
So do you think it's a smart call from Jennifer to go ahead and to try to push the hard tires to the end of this Grand Prix? Can they go like 30 to 31 laps in this race?
Probably if not on a controller. Tyre wear on controller is so much more worse, as I do play on controller, so I know that pain and feeling. As Roger managed to get out in front of Jennifer Lee here, probably not suitable for Jennifer. He's wanting to want a bit more fresh air, clean air, and preserve those tyres and try and make them last 30 laps. But yeah, we'll see how quickly he can get past Roger, or if he'll just stick behind him for the entire race like Alonso did in 2010 Abu Dhabi while battling for the championship.
Oh, look at this here. It's a prediction. Let's go. We love the predictions here. So, how many cars will DNF? So we have the prediction of any number between 3 and 9. I hope we don't get
What
the
about
9.
19? What about 19 DNF? I want that. That would be a good race.
I would be very concerned on how that would come about. Because somebody's got to do something really silly, and I'm pretty sure that might even result in a rare, well, I'll say rare, but it was kind of prevalent towards some races of last season, but a hopefully rare red flag in Rush Racing League. Hopefully we don't see that at all during the season, but I'm sure it'll happen at least once or twice. As we do see Dynasty Sparrow setting the new fastest lap of the Grand Prix. It is.
And
I
Claire
mean, he's
came
pretty
into the
much,
box as well.
yeah, he's pretty much just right up the gearbox of Reiko Ralph. I mean, both of the cars on those hard tires, trying to go ahead and get these tires to the end, but that dirty air is going to start to grain those tires up, so you're going to lose a little bit of traction over the course of several laps if you're pretty much still just dealing with that dirty air from the Haas up ahead.
In the meantime, Mertz has made a little mistake around a long left-hander. He had a like 4 or 5 second lead. It's down to 2.3 at the moment. Gangster who's been able to overtake F7 for P2. 21 laps on the medium. So we're looking to see how much longer they will push him and when will they box.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Let's go ahead and pull up the tires again. So, yeah, 21 laps for pretty much 20 laps or more.
And the
for
leader
top five.
is in. Gangster will follow Mertz into the box. F7 will continue on for another lap here. And will take, at the point in time, P1.
He had P1 for about a split second in lap 1, and then obviously the going around the outside into turn number 1 on lap 1 is actually a surprisingly good idea. And it works out pretty well for you most of the time, so that is exactly how Mertz kept his lead ahead of F7. But yeah, so we'll just have to see. I mean, we're just about halfway into this race, and Hennessy has left the session, but he DNF'd quite a while
I think
ago.
he's seen enough. Anyway.
Watch now, someone's gonna immediately just run into a wall and bring out another safety car.
I think it might be nut time. As pointed out, Mertz has been jumped by Rico Ralph here by 4 laps here, but he's still in between Rico Ralph and Dynasty here, so we'll see how much advantage he can have on those 4-lap old fresher tyres. As Aardvark makes a move for P16, and that's very nice for him. Looking to make a little climb back after those soft tyres. It wouldn't say worked out for him, but it worked out for a short amount of time.
Indeed, yeah, so go ahead and get those predictions in. And
also apparently Gangster has also jumped Mertz as well, because Gangster came in 2 seconds behind Mertz in the pit lane, so maybe Mertz had some front wing damage and maybe replaced his front wing. That could be the reason why, but he has lost provisional P1 as the leader F7 has come in for hard tyres.
yeah, and I do apologize. Can we sacrifice someone from the race, please?
I would agree with that.
Oh, well, there's your sacrifice right there as Reiko Ralph gets punted into the wall. Surprisingly, there wasn't more damage there, but, well, there's your sacrifice right there. It came at the expense of Reiko Ralph. That will definitely be checked out by the stewards, and I do apologize I missed so many requests about the tires, but here you guys go.
Mertz and Brandy got a 3-second time, or Dynasty got a 3-second time penalty from that same area as well, so that's very, don't know what happened down there. Very strange.
I feel like Dynasty
has his front wing.
I feel like
here comes Mertz on the outside of Jam Reigns here. At the corner, you don't want to really overtake, he thinks better of him, backs out. As Aardvark is out of the race, and that is another safety car. For VSC.
Oh, yeah, it's a VSC, so...
It's VSC.
So not quite a full safety car, but...
well, there's your 3 DNFs.
Yep, so there we go. Actually, that's 4 DNFs, so my prediction, that I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat at some point, that one is pretty much staying
whoever predicted that sacrifice, you're welcome. It happened.
We should have done the prediction on the sacrifice then. Man, we missed a fun opportunity. But yeah. All right, comms Q&A. What do we got here?
No, not again, Sebi. As GM Reigns comes into the pits, as well as Mertz. Mertz is coming again, so I think Mertz and somebody else. Wreck-It Ralph might have had some incident at turn 1-2, so he's replaced his ring for a second time, and that has really ruined his race.
I think Falcon's got a pretty good chance here because we're at exactly half race distance now. And, I mean...
And Falcon does not need to stop again. He boxed onto that one safety car, so he is good to go to the end, but those tyres will be struggling. As Wogjet has now binned it at the plugger corner. And oh my... Jennifer has been cleaned up in it as well. And another VSC is out. Oh my god.
Well, to answer the comms Q&A of, now that we're halfway through race distance, how many more cars are going to DNF? Well, you can add one to that tally. As Wogjet, the afterburners have ran out of fuel. That is an unfortunate...
it's a full safety car.
Oh, interesting. So that is a new development.
This plays into the hands of Falcon here, because he's on 23 lap on hards. If he's got another set of hard tyres, he could go to the end on those, and he'll be in a pretty decent position here.
I think he does have another set.
Yeah, you'd be hoping for. He'll probably come out P6. Somehow Tyler and Davey overtook under safety car on Claire. Maybe Claire might have made a mistake. Not too sure about that.
So,
and Falcon does pull into the pit lane, so he did hear me. Okay, put your stream on mute, mate. Don't listen to me at all.
So, actually, I'll let you answer this question on how many more predicted DNFs are you expecting in the second half of this race? Because I answered the last one, and so far, I was right until the halfway point, and then I was wrong.
I reckon another type this race. As NZT has gone with wet tyres. We're in Saudi, mate. There's no rain.
Huh?
NZT's on wets.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure that's a mistake, but I mean it's a Ferrari, so it's.
I gotta take a lap. Okay.
Yeah, let's throw on board with him. Flubber, what is your driver doing? Yeah,
I don't have words.
Did Leclerc or Hamilton cook up with this strategy?
It must be the water.
Yeah, must be the
even,
water.
Like, I'm even seeing that, like, in...
That's the words of, strategy.
I've even seen a chat that says, rain is approaching, which would be interesting, wet Jeddah. I don't think this ever happened in the real life Formula 1. It's happened in one of my career saves at a point, but, even then, I don't think you'd immediately jump to the intermediates.
Yeah, I don't think it would be raining enough wets. That's some dude, or is Lamb engineering him? Probably. Lamb is also a part of Ferrari, and he comes up with this strategy, so probably it's Lamb.
I guess Lamb is trying to go ahead and see if the tires are going to blow up like his Xbox did a good portion of last season. I'm sorry, the joke was right there, but we love you, Lamb.
I'm sorry. We love you, Lamb.
It's
Let's see if he boxes or if he'll stick it. What is he going really slow here? And yeah, we'll be pulling into the pit lane. So it does a lap on the wets. Very interesting strat. I think Ferrari will be very proud of themselves. And we'll be feeding these medium tyres.
I think that might just be a highlight of the race right there. A very questionable strategy. So...
Forwards to dead last now in P15. Very weird strat.
Very weird indeed.
As mentioned, Falcon has come at P4. He's position here, but we'll have to do 24 laps on those mediums, which it's gonna be worth the risk, I reckon, for him. He's come off better than most other drivers.
I know, so for those of you who may be new to Rush Racing League, we interviewed the top 3 drivers if we can get them post-race, but I kind of also want to talk to NCT after this race, just to see what happened. Like, that is the only, like, words I can form in my brain at the moment, is just, what happened? At my workplace, there is a McLaren fan. He likes Lando Norris, but he does like Formula One as a whole. So I think you'll definitely get a kick out of the Ferrari running a wet tire in the middle of Jeddah.
And the safety car will be coming back here, and it'll be Gangster to lead the pack on this third safety car restart here. So we've had 3 safety cars and a VSC. And I'll throw the question to Sebi here. How many more safety cars do you reckon we'll get, Sebi?
Sebi also did redeem another commentator Q&A. At this point, we just need to sit Sebi down for a podcast at this point. The Div 4 commentary podcast is apparently going to be a thing now, coming to every streaming platform known to man. And just as the race is coming back to green flag conditions, as we are starting back on lap 28 out of 50, as Gangster is going to go ahead and do his best. F7 and Dynasty are getting really close to each other now in this race. They were within hundredths of a second earlier on. It looks like Dynasty might have tapped a wall there on what I believe is turn 5, and F7's got stuck on the curb.
Tony hawked it, and so did Recco Ralph, and Tyler Davey managed to get 2 positions from that. As well, and at the back, NZT gets past Mertz. What is going on in the mid-pack? As we're going to see a little couple 2-3 wide action here, Claire on the inside. Looking to get past Mudpack to P6. He's going to go side by side. Mudpack backs out of him, lets Claire go ahead. Very smart racing. To answer your question, anyone who keeps it out of the wall.
You know what? I'm going to throw a wild suggestion out there. I think the winner of this Grand Prix, now watch them absolutely bin it after I mention this to answer your question, Seb.
Tyler.
Well, I was not going to say Tyler, but I was going to say someone with the same powertrain. We'll get to that moment. Do not let me forget Sebi, but man, this is a spicy battle here. Going through the final corner into the hairpin, and that is a gaggle of cars jockeying for position.
Mudpack
going
go
3
wide. On the outside, 3 wide. Why?
Mudpack gets the move done. He leads the field, and he is gonna, or at least that gaggle of cars in particular, and a bit of contact, I think, with Tyler and Reigns.
Mertz, Mertz and Jennifer. Oh! Mertz is around Jennifer and Mertz. That is a very bad accident.
Mertz is having potentially one of the worst races he could have had.
I would like to know if he jumped in Lance Stroll's car or Nando's.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finally answer the question Sebi asked several minutes ago. I think the winner of this race, and it's a wild prediction, is going to be this man right here. This P3 Williams of Falcon. I think he's got the strategy.
Yeah, that would be mine.
He's got the strategy, he's got the pace, and he's got a free move on the Dynasty. He's got the freshest tires, the quickest tires, and he's been a rocket today. And also,
sorry to interrupt. Mertz has rear wing damage.
Yep.
According to Whiff.
Yep, that is unfortunate for the Aston, and that's not really something you can repair. So that's pretty much his race done and dusted. The driver who started on pole position is now down at the back. He might not even finish this race, but so.
Don't lie, Whiff. He said possibly. Okay. As we gain a request for Flubber, maybe, or NZT, I cannot tell.
I mean, we could
as
get
a
Flubber
surprise interview.
after the race. So I mean, we could cue Flubber or NCT, because I know
Yeah.
NCT was the driver that was requested for an interview. So I mean, I know we've refunded those points, but I would still actually be really curious to talk with
We
somebody
get
from the
Flubber in.
Ferrari squad about the wets.
Yeah, I think we can get Flubber in, surely. As Aston are doing a double stack at the moment, that is not very good for them at all. The race just gets bad to worse. As Mertz changed his front wing for the third time this race.
Yeah, quite unfortunate. Right now we're on board with the battle for the final podium spot, as F7 tries to chase down Dynasty, but he's got clear in the rear view. It is every McLaren's worst nightmare in seeing a hard-charging Red Bull directly in your mirrors. And as we watch from the engine cover of this McLaren, Claire is trying to get close, trying to go ahead and get ready for a move. Not enough real estate though, as there is DRS for the McLaren. And I think the McLaren might try to get a move done onto Dynasty. And it's going to be
Safety car again. And the safety car Mertz has binned it again, breaking his fourth front wing. Oh boy. As Dynasty, Claire, and Mudpack all come into box. As well as Tyler and Mercedes are doing a double stack. Oh my god. Recco Ralph, bloody who cares, also coming into the box. This is our fourth safety car for the race, and we're really on.
So, interestingly enough,
and NZT gets a drive-through for speeding under safety car. That just finishes off Ferrari. Like, I mean, NZT went into wets for crying out loud. Now he gets a drive-through for speeding under safety car. These Ferrari strats are just extraordinary.
I'm sure the Ferrari team principal is angrily doing the hand gesture, the stereotypical Italian hand gesture, angrily, as he sees both of his drivers with penalties, switching to wet tires on a dry track.
And Mertz's pit lane retired, so that's number 6 retirement. And we're getting a request for penalties.
And that is a request that will be very quickly fulfilled. NTT has a drive-through. Nishka's got 12 seconds. 3 seconds for Dynasty. 3 seconds for the other Mercedes of Tyler Mandavi. Bloody Who Cares has a 3-second time penalty. And the Aston Martin of Huvu has a drive-through.
The Astons are not having a good race either, at the back of the pack with a drive-through. Ferrari, 12 seconds and a drive-through, it just does not get any better for them. We're at 4th safety car. I mean, who knows what's going to happen for the here on out.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to say that the predictable thing about racing is that racing itself is very unpredictable. So anything can happen.
And this also does benefit Falcon as well. This does benefit Falcon. The safety car can save the tyres a bit.
I mean,
save the tyre wear and yeah. As long as he doesn't bin it from here on out.
Considering what we've seen earlier, I honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if it started snowing here, just because of how crazy everything has been here tonight.
Yeah, I mean the worst case scenario, the track just gets split in half. Then you have to do a jump.
I feel like
we're gonna get real crazy.
I feel like the more we talk about this, the more that I'm gonna want to play split second when I get up in the morning. Have you actually played split second, Cooper?
I do not know what that is.
Okay. I'm going to, while we're under safety car, I'm going to tell you guys about one of the most chaotic racing games to have ever existed. So imagine this. There is a director in America named Michael Bay, who is very well known for all of his movies having more explosions than necessary. Imagine that, but a racing game. Boom, split second. And then you also throw in that's made by Disney. Which, honestly, if you look at the game, you could not tell that Disney had a hand in any of it.
And safety car is in this lap. And Flubber has joined the comms box. Flubber.
How's it going, boys?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Alright, so we have a question that we need to ask. The wets on a Ferrari, was that like a misinput? Was it like a really bizarre strategy call? What was the kind of thought process of the wet tires on that Ferrari?
I wish I had something funny to say, but it was just a misclick, to be honest. He just went one too far on it, and yeah, didn't realise it was wet that was selected. So, unfortunate, but what can we do? We've got a drive-through now for a Delta that's stuffed up, but what can we do? We'll move on and see how we go after this, but it's all a part of the fun, isn't it?
Indeed. So I will have a few other questions while we're still under the. Actually, no. I think we're still under. Are we still under VOC? No, we are actually back.
No, we have gone back to green flag racing.
All right. So I'll ask you a few quick questions, and I'll let you go. So how do you feel about a 100% race being a season opener?
I think everyone's got their own opinions. At the end of the day, it's the calendar. We're here, we're doing it, so everyone just has to suck it up, I guess, and do it, you know. We're already halfway through this race, so let's keep going.
Alright, and then Monaco next week. How confident is Ferrari feeling, considering that this race didn't exactly go to plan?
I mean, it's a long season, so at the end of the day, we'll just take it one race at a time. This race is still happening. Anything can happen in the next 17 laps, so we're still going to be pushing as hard as we can, obviously, as whatever we can get out of today. And then we'll move on to next week, really, after this race.
All right, well, thank you so much for jumping on in. Best of luck to Ferrari for the rest of this race and also the Division 2 race coming up.
Oh, that's it. We'll see how we go. And again, congrats to Jono last on Div 1 race win. So it's a good start for Ferrari, and we'll just have to try to keep it going.
All right, thanks for popping in.
No worries. See you, boys.
All right, that was team principal of Ferrari, ladies and gentlemen. That was Flubber, giving us a little bit of insight to his feelings about this race and the next race. Some, honestly, very well said. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a long season, so sometimes drivers just kind of have to make mistakes and then move on. You can't dwell on it too long, just because if you do dwell on it too long, then you're going to get swallowed up here in Rush. But Ferrari, I mean, like you said earlier, Ferrari did get a win in Div 1. So Ferrari can be good at this track. It's just been an unfortunate run of events.
Yeah, as we see a change for the lead Falcon getting past Gangster for P1 on those 8-lap mob mediums, which are coming into effect for him, which is very good for the Williams. I think Dito will be a bit more happy now knowing that he drives in P1 and not in the wall from that early incident.
Yeah, so we're going to take a look at the tires as Dynasty does have the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. It looks like Gangster got pretty close there to Falcon, but Falcon on those 3-lap fresher tires, and also not to mention that he is on a quicker tire compound, with the mediums having more grip than the hards, as he is going to continue to try to pull away, try to get out of DRS range, because the DRS here is so strong. It's probably one of, if not the strongest DRS in the entire track, or in the entire calendar. So he's doing good though. He's pulling away quite considerably though. In the sector alone, I think he gained about 4/10 on Gangster. And then soon Gangster is going to have to start looking at his rearview mirror to worry about F7 right here. F7.
Who has a full tank of battery as well. He also has a full tank battery, and apparently we've been noted for weaving on the stroke for Falcon, which is very interesting.
Yeah, interesting. That will obviously go to the stewards for review post-race.
Oh, GM Range just smacked the wall on the inside there, and one of he's got front wing damage from that.
Yeah, he's missing an end plate.
He's missing his right front end plate. That is a very mistake with this. Somewhat late into the race as we are on lap 35 of 50, approaching lap 36 now. So I wonder how much longer or how effective that damage will be, as here comes Dynasty down the inside into turn 1. And we'll get that move done, and he gets it cleanly done. He's through into P4.
A very strong move indeed from Dynasty, but he does have penalties looming over him. So he's definitely going to get a chain, or he's going to have to pull up 3 seconds of a gap to GM Reigns behind if he wants to go ahead and jump up a position. And talking about GM Reigns, I'm curious on like how tired he must be, because there's a really specific reason I say that. He was in the NA race earlier on today. So, I mean, going from Canada to this track is quite a staggering jump. And, I mean, going from a 50% race to a full race, it is very tricky.
As Highview picks up another free penalty, pushing his penalties up to 19.
Ooh.
With Nishka on 15, and then we've got Bloody Who Cares, Tyler Davey, and Dynasty with 3 seconds.
And Huvu turning his Formula 1 car into a Formula Drift car. And once again, wants an AB. It feels like a few team principals are going to be on...
Code Brown.
I was just going to say they're going to have a VIP seat on the struggle bus, but that works too. As Tyler now is going to get closer and closer to the car up ahead, which is the Haas of Reiko Ralph.
As Gangster gets the lead. Oh, this battle's quite...
Oh no!
Just spun Falcon around.
Oh.
Oh no.
I think that's damage
With
for
space
Falcon
given.
as well.
Yep. Oh my god. GM Range and Claire there. I think it was damage with F7 because he was on the inside there and spun Falcon around.
No
damage
damage
see
for
what
F7.
happens there.
Actually, I think Dynasty was the one who ended up as a victim in that. GM Range is going to go ahead and cut over. A few cars actually causing yellow sectors. Oh, it's Hugh.
Pit lane retirement for Highview. Highview has a pit lane retirement. So that is retirement number 7, and there's a double DNF for the Astons. Watanabe will be not happy with that, as Nishka has just cut the pit lane wide lane exit. That is not allowed.
Yeah, we did unfortunately miss a little bit of that battle for the lead. As Hugh does leave the session, he did retire, so it shouldn't mess the lobby up by any stretch. But we did miss that battle for the lead, unfortunately, and I do apologize for that. But we are not gonna miss this battle for a on-track podium between Claire, Dynasty, and it looks like GM Reigns is also gonna be in this mix too.
Falcon is there as well, but just behind, about 6/10 behind.
We'll see. We'll see how this one does play out, because I mean, there's still a good amount of racing left to go. You still got about 13 laps left to go, including the lap we are currently on. 12 laps after this, and a few cars kind of snapping on that corner exit there. And it looks like GM Reigns and Falcon both had snaps on turn 3. Now going to turn number 4. As
the tyre we're starting to kick in slowly. Tyre kicking slowly. The tyre where the rears will start to slide out just a little tad as each lap progresses on forward.
So, interesting stuff here. Lots of battles going on here, considering, and there's also post-race penalties that may come through that we are still unaware of. As once again, we are commentators, we are not stewards, so we'll leave.
I am, but wrong.
Oh,
div.
you are?
I am the Div 5 steward, along with Toodle.
Well, good luck, because I feel like you're going to need it if this race is anything to go by, and also the Div 1 race is anything to go by. But overall, it is lap 38 out of 50. We are getting closer and closer to the end of this race. F7 now is trying to close the gap to Gangster, trying to get McLaren a win here. As Dynasty still has that 3-second time penalty, so he'll drop down at least maybe 2 positions, maybe 3. But once again, there's still a good amount of racing left to go.
As Rico Ralph gets a double overtake on the straight, that is very powerful DRS. Must have a lot of battery use there. It's Falcon and Jam Reigns, they're going through the corner. Very nicely done. No contact, so it's all moving swiftly.
Yeah, and a thing worth noting is the incident between Gangster and Falcon will be investigated after this race. So even if F7 might actually get a win here, even if he doesn't get it done on track, which, I mean, considering the fact that these are racing drivers we're talking about here, of course they're going to want to finish this on track. Of course they want to pass their cars on track and not have to rely on a post-race or even in-game penalty to go ahead and resort the positions and just to get a win through that way. He wants to win on track, so he's going to try to hook up as many good laps as he can to really try to close that gap to the Alpine up ahead. And we have lost quite a handful of drivers tonight. But are you predicting any more, Cooper? Because I am predicting that no more cars are going to DNF, and we are going to finish with the 13 cars we have left now.
There's still 10, 11 laps left. I'm predicting one more DNF and have a late race safety car and have a dash to the finish.
Indeed, as F7 does go ahead and jump into the lead of this race, but with the DRS of Gangster, that'll be easily retaken. As we go down into turn number 1, followed by turn number 2. And once again, the McLaren looks like he went a bit wider than Gangster did. But we'll see if anything could happen. This really isn't a spot for overtaking, so you really just gotta kind of wait for your moment and wait for one of the DRS zones if you want to make a really good overtake here.
Yeah, definitely for sure. His gap to the lead is 4 tenths, and it's going to be slowly marching as time. And David picks up another 3 seconds. Tyler, what are you doing? Picking the penalties up this late in the race is not ideal, but he does have 6 seconds, but has about 10-second gap to P9, so that penalty will basically remove itself out. So unfortunately, just won't be able to gain any positions from it, but which is unfortunate for him. But the P8 at the moment is not too bad to start the season off.
Yeah, indeed. As we're going to go back to the battle here between the McLaren and the Alpine. These cars are super close, and this is going to be a very tight battle for the Grand Prix lead. 10 laps left to go here once they go ahead and navigate this final corner. F7 is going to send it around the outside on those 16-lap old hard tires. He's going to get the move done and dusted, but he goes wide, and a bit of a snap allows Gangster to retake the lead at the moment. Now it's going to be a drag race down into turn number 1. The McLaren's going to have DRS. So he should be able to easily get this move done. He actually doesn't get the move done. Gangster stays
Very strange.
in the lead. Yeah, so I honestly thought F7 had that one.
With all this battle, it's allowed Claire to get into DRS here, just sneaky in that 1 second gap. So this last 10 laps here will be very tasty to
Indeed, I 100% agree. And like I said in chat, the top 6 have been spicy all day, so I'm expecting more fireworks from this field, as Dynasty has dropped 2 positions, one to his teammate and one to GM Reigns in that McLaren. So, I mean, these drivers have really, they've been giving it their all, but, yeah.
It's a huge mammoth. Like, to do 50 laps is like, well, lap 41 at the moment, as Mudpack gets past bloody who cares for P number 11. So, we won't be too overall happy with that. But he has his Div 2 boys later up, and he's got the best duo in the Div 2 grid, so hopefully me and Gruz can turn it around. But as we carry on with this race, as F7 gets a move done on Grandster, as he goes back up the inside in the final corner. Gets the move done, but F7 will have DRS, as well as Claire. Claire's back of F7, looks to the outside. he or she, I don't know, I'm not going to assume anything here. As Claire goes into P2 for momentarily, it's F7 up the inside. This is some great battling from the front runners here.
Yeah, Claire even has a chance to win this whole thing in the Red Bull. No penalties, and if these drivers have any kind of contact, then there's a Haas directly behind that could also try to benefit from a race win here. I mean, we're down to the last few laps, less than 10 laps to go here. It's pretty much make or break time now for these drivers. They're going to go ahead and punch it and try to get to the end of this race. I mean, do you have any predictions on who's going to win? Because my prediction, unfortunately, fell way out of favor. I know you also predicted Falco, but is there anyone else you might want to predict out of this top 4?
I wouldn't say top 4. I was going to make a massive all top 10 cars DNF and Bad Puck wins. So I was hoping for that, but out of the top 4, comes down to really tie where I think maybe Wrecker Ralph could win it, but yeah, anyone of these top 4 could potentially win it. If anyone gets over aggressive, goes for a pretty silly move and could cost themselves the win.
I did realize that we were so locked into the race ahead that we did miss another comms Q&A, so I do apologize. With the 10 laps, do we expect any more DNFs? I'm going to say no. I think we're going to finish with these 13 drivers. So
one more DNF.
Alright, so that's the predictions officially. Do apologize for a bit of the delay. We're just so kind of focused on everything going on as Gangster just sends it around, and he's deep!
Oh,
Gangster's
almost
very
hits the
deep.
wall. Like
He
I
went
said,
deep,
oh,
he's
Wrecker
diving
Ralph.
into the corner.
Wrecker Ralph, that is crazy close. Like I said, one little silly mistake there, and look at that, Gangster went from P1 to P3.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it takes. You have to be precise around this track. You have to have machine level precision to go ahead and just navigate through this track. And now, let's see who can win this thing, because I think it's really still anyone's game. Falcon is also kind of brought back into this as well. Falcon's in P5 at the moment. He is still pretty much well within his ability to win this thing. As we just go ahead and get a quick little ASMR snapshot of these cars just making their way through. Falcon has fallen out of DRS. So now we're going to go ahead and refocus our attention to this battle up at the front. F7 looking to go ahead and claim the first win in Division 4 of Season 9. Here for McLaren. I think, did he smack a wall or was this just a camera angle trick? We'll see, but
Camera angle. Here comes Claire on the outside with DRS and takes the lead of the race.
yeah, so the Red Bull has a very good chance of winning this thing here. So once again, as always, we're going to interview our top 3 drivers. We're going to have to keep things quick because we do have a race very shortly after this. So it won't be a long interview. It'll probably be 2 to 3 questions per driver max, as we still do have a Division 2 race coming up shortly after this. So, I mean, it's tough to kind of predict, but, I mean, Claire has definitely done some work here. So, Claire has definitely got some really good pace here. The Red Bull is making moves, and there's a caution. It's a Sauber. There is another DNF. Mudpack is out.
I called it. It's a VSC.
Yeah.
And while we're in this VSC period, who is your driver of the day?
That is a tough one. I need to see how many position changes. Ooh. Well, looking at that metric alone, I mean, it's got to be between Falcon and Claire, certainly. And also Tyler.
Yeah,
Tyler's another good candidate.
My pick is Claire for driver of the day.
If Claire wins this, then yes, I 100% agree with that. Falcon, though, I mean, you know what? I'll give mine to Falcon. Just because he has pretty much been through the ringer. And he's now, especially with this VSC, he's got the chance to even win the whole thing. He's up 15 positions from where he started. Actually, he got hit with
Yep.
the DSQ at the get-go, so he's really made up some good positions here. So
Oh,
we are
Jam Range gets a 3 second. He's just gone back to green flag racing here.
Yep, so it is
And
green
we've got the
flag
pole
conditions.
in for driver day. The pole is in. Get your votes in, guys.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the tires for the rest of this. So the oldest tires is actually Gangsters with 22 lap old racing hards. So Claire's definitely got the youngest tires out of those top drivers, and Claire's actually really pulled away now. So now we're going to jump on board with the battle for what would be P2. Although Gangster will still be investigated after the race for what happened between him and Falcon earlier on in the race.
It was F7. It was F7 and Falcon.
I see. I did see him mention that Gangster actually was also part of that note, but still.
My bad.
I mean,
Falcon gets up the inside at Recco Ralph. A very weird spot to do. He's done the Oscar Piastri move there. They're very nice.
very nice indeed from Falcon. He's really putting in the effort to try to maybe claw back a podium. I don't think it's super likely, but we're going to have on board with the Alpine and the McLaren. F7 versus Gangster happening again as Gangster's got the DRS. He's going to slide on through. And, contact!
Oh, contact again.
Very slight contact and a
Gangster
big
almost
snap.
there. Oh.
I mean, there's 5 laps left to go. These drivers just need to make it to the end. That's all they need to do. Crazy work happening in this race. I mean, there's a few teams that have definitely really been on the struggle bus here today. Aston Martin hasn't had a good run. Sauber hasn't had a great run.
Kick, yeah. Ferrari struts have not paid off.
But Ferrari is still in a double points paying position. So, I mean, as long as you finish this race, you're going to get points because of that 15 or top 15 getting points in Rush Racing League. So, if you finish this race, you're still going to get points. But, yeah, I think what Flubber said is good. They're just going to look ahead to the Division 2 race and then look ahead to Monaco next week. So, it's still, I mean, it's a long season. This is only the season kickoff. So, still lots of races left to go. And, I mean, we have a very fantastic calendar this season, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Here comes F7 again. We'll be using DRS. Has a lot more battery than Gangster here. He's turning his battery off. He's getting closer. We'll go to the outside line this time. It switches to the inside and won't get far enough up the inside for a move.
Just not enough real estate there for F7 to go to make a move. And taking a look at the question in chat, Aston Martin is a double DNF, P15 and P14 respectively. So interesting. But here's another thing too, is that F7 might not even really try for an overtake yet, because, I mean, look how much battery he's got. He's got maxed out battery, so he might just be waiting for a last lap dash.
And while doing so, Falcon has also put himself within DRS, so we could have a three-way battle for the final couple podium spots as Claire is checked out with a 3.6 second lead.
Indeed, so it's kind of an up and down start. Hennessy didn't finish the race, down to P19, but the other Red Bull is pretty much on track to get a win as long as
they keep
Claire
it clean,
focuses.
keep out the walls.
Yeah,
Here comes Falcon and F7 on the attack here. F7 up the inside.
He's gonna lick the stamp and send it. Oh, it's gonna be tight.
Oh,
it's gonna be close.
Gangster will get DRS here.
But we see a lot of battery overtake from the McLaren, trying to keep it close. Falcon, though, trying to maybe make a move as well. Is he going to send it to? No, he does not. He shakes for the inside. Doesn't quite get it, but
Almost
man, that was close.
Almost runs in the rear of F7 then.
I mean, they're trying. You got to give them effort for that. They are definitely trying.
A parts for trying. F for executing.
You get an E for effort in that situation. But, I mean, there's still 3 laps left to go in this race. It has been a long race, but these drivers are just about to that finish line. And before we get there, we're still going to have our fantastic 3-way battle for P2 at the moment. As we watch from the rear wing of Gangster, as there is the McLaren, and not too far behind that is the Williams. So the Williams and the McLaren trying to chase down this Alpine, trying to go ahead and just get these podium spots. So F7 is on.
Here comes F7, on the inside. Oh!
Oh, he
Oh,
almost
that's very
sent it like the
tight.
risky text you sent to your crush in middle school. Almost sending it down the inside. Doesn't quite get it. But is he going to get it this time? That is going to be the question of the moment.
Right
He's got
outside.
DRS. Going around.
Dan
He's got the
does.
move.
But Gangster will get the DRS once again, and oh, that was very close to the wall there for both F7 and Gangster there, but with Gangster again that DRS, can he get back in front of F7? That is the question.
But even then,
He's
if these
burning
two
his
come to
battery,
blows,
getting up the inside. He's not. Oh, he hits him. He hit the rear.
little loves have their. Ooh, this
Oh,
is
Falcon
tight.
also
This is
hitting the rear.
dicey.
Oh. Gangster, that's not the. Oh, that's close.
Very, very close indeed. You probably couldn't even put a mosquito in between those two cars. That's how close they were getting. There's definitely a good amount of gentle nudging happening in that part of the track. But we are on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix, and with these drivers battling it out super hard, fighting tooth and nail for these podium spots, it's allowed Claire to go ahead and just drive off to Monaco already. So
Yeah, with a 5-second lead. The real big question is, with a lap and a half to go, how much will these risk just for a podium spot here?
yeah, we'll see, because it's kind of hard to predict, but I think this order is going to remain. I think it's going to be F7 to Gangster to Falcon, I think, for P2 to P4. Claire's got this pretty much in the bag, as long as they don't bin it on one of the corners. And, yeah, we're actually about to come across the line and begin
Oh,
the
Gangster
final lap.
almost hitting the.
Oh, it's scary stuff out here in Jeddah. This is a track that takes no prisoners. No prisoners at all. It is scary stuff sometimes when you're really trying to fight here. I mean, it used to be labeled as the fastest street circuit in the world before Las Vegas kind of took that.
NZT has spun at the final corner there. That just taps off Ferrari's race right there.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, it's not been a day for Ferrari. Still top 10 though, but I mean, there's probably more on the table for this Ferrari squadron. Definitely more on the table for them, and we're gonna see how they do in Division 2. That race is happening very shortly after this one's done and dusted. But and now Thunder is saying in chat, I'm on comms tonight, stay on the wall, in reference to Flubber. I think Flubber's just gonna go ahead and put on intermediates this time on the drive track. He'll spice it up a bit compared to the other bit of Ferrari strategy that we have seen.
Falcon is out of DRS. He did not get DRS down that previous straight, and he won't get DRS here again. So it's just going to be a straight fight between Gangster and FB and F7 here. As we're going to approach through the last corner here with DRS. Barely any battery for Gangsters. F7's got about half a tank here, so I think F7 will hold on here as Claire will cross the line in P1. There's a very good start to the season, and F7 will hold P2. Gangster P3 and Falcon P4.
Yeah, what a talented and very exciting race. It was pretty chaotic there towards the start, but then we've seen some crazy moves, crazy move attempts, and fantastic drives up and down the grid, as we see Jeneth going ahead and finishing just ahead of Dynasty there in P8 and P9. And then we have NCT, who's going to be the next one to come across the line. Bloody Who Cares in P11, and Nishka in P12. But your winner is the Red Bull of Claire. What a drive! That is an absolutely fantastic run here. And that's definitely some good points on the board for Red Bull.
Very good start for Red Bull. She also, just to point out, Claire did 4 stops compared to F7 Gangster doing the 1 stop. So, very nice job there for Claire. As the poll is in, and Claire does win Driver of the Day by 1 singular vote.
Considering that pretty much once Claire got into the lead, they just shot off into the distance. That is of no surprise, and it's a very well-deserved driver of the day as well. So Claire is your driver of the day here at Rush Racing League, the season opener for Division 4, and what a well-deserved celebration and what a well-deserved drive from Claire, the Japanese driver, getting victory here for Red Bull. And I mean, we weren't really expecting this because earlier it was pretty much we were saying it was going to be Falcon, JF7, or F7 and Gangsta potentially fighting for that win. But the celebration is live. The drivers will spray each other with a virtual champagne. And now we're going to go ahead and just take a look at our final results here. So, take a look at the final results here. Claire does take P1, followed by F7 and Gangster rounding out the podium. And then we have Falcon, Rico Ralph, GM Reigns, Tyler Mendavy, Jenneth Lee, Dynasty Sparrow, NZT, Bloody Who Cares, and Nishka rounding out the drivers who did finish the race. And then it is Mudpack, Highview, Mertz, the driver who got pole position earlier on, had a very unfortunate race. And then it is Wogjet, Aardvark, Chidung, Hennessy, and Carew rounding out the 20 cars on the grid. So, if we could get Claire, F7, and Gangsta to join the commentary box, we'll go ahead and speed on through your interviews, and then we'll let you guys go, and then we'll jump over to the Division 2 race, where it'll be an interesting team of commentators, some very fantastic commentators. It won't be myself and Cooper, because Cooper is actually going to be racing. So,
Indeed I am.
and I am going to probably go home and hit the hay, but anyways, let's go and see if we can get our top 3 in here. That is Claire, it is F7, and Gangster. If you guys would like to join the commentary box, please go and do so. We'll go in and do some interviews, and then we're going to go ahead and let Div 2 take things over.
Hey guys.
Hello, welcome on in. So, I mean, we have actually 2 out of our top 3. So, Cooper, I'll let you start with our P3 driver of Gangsta. Take it away.
Hello, Gangster. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. What about you?
No, I'm not too bad myself, mate. Talk us through your race, please.
Yeah, can get the P1, but did 2 mistakes and lost it. Yeah. And McLaren had did a good job in last 2 laps. He defends very well. So yeah, it's my mistake.
Yeah. And what was your plan coming into this race?
What?
What was your plan coming through into this race? Was like a 1 stop, a 2 stop, or like what were you planning to go ahead with?
Yeah, I was going with 1 stop. If there's a safety car or not, I'll go with the 1 stop.
Nice. I will pass you over to Rekaz for further questions.
All right, so I just have one quick question for you, Gangsta. So, it is Monaco next week. How do you feel about Monaco, and what do you think your chances are going to be?
If we have 4 to 5 safety cars in Saudi, then Monaco will be a mess. I think so. So we have to keep safe our car, and then we can get the good result. I think so.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on the P3. Best of luck to you next week.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to head over to F7. And then, I think, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get our race winner in here, but we will go ahead and still run through the interview. So, F7, I mean, it was a pretty scary race for you and a lot of, or during the big duration of the race. How did you feel about the 100% race?
It's a first. I've never done 100% first, so did a lot of practice, thinking of strategies, thinking of what could happen, thinking of what I'll do if there's a safety car. But it was yeah, it was a lot of help having my team helping me.
Excellent. So I'll ask you one more question before I pass you over to Cooper. So it is Monaco next week. Do you think it's going to be
Mhm.
equally as chaotic as Saudi was?
Um, I certainly think we'll reach max safety car limit in Monaco, but I reckon it's just Monaco, same as Saudi, stay out of trouble. Qualifying's everything there, so
All right.
do well in qualifying.
Yeah, I mean Monaco, like you said, if you do good in qualifying, you pretty much got a good position in the race. But congratulations on the P2, and I will pass you over to Coop.
Alright, hello F7. My question for you is, during those safety cars, what was your plan? Like were you going to plan to come in a box multiple occasions, or were you plan to stay out for the rest of them?
Um, it was a one stop. I wasn't gonna pit again. Honest, if there was like a late safety car, maybe softs, but it was a one stop and one stop only.
Okay, and that's all my questions.
All right, with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap up the stream here. It's going to be SJ and Husey coming into the commentary box to take over for Division 2 here. So, once again, thank you to Cooper for joining me here tonight, and thank all of you amazing people in chat dealing with a few of the teething issues we had towards the beginning of the stream. And tune in a few moments when we go ahead and do 100% around Saudi Arabia yet again with Division number 2. My name is Patrick Coleman, aka Rekus, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good night.